There's probably, I don't expect this to be relatable. I'm not sure there's any more surreal experience than being away from the internet for like 2.5 weeks and then immediately coming back and like the first thing you do is streaming. It's so fucking abnormal. I've been staring at like sunrises for 2.5 weeks, and now there's just like a flood of messages in chat. And then where were we? We were in London, England. No disrespect to Western University. We were in London, England for 3 days. Then we were on a cruise that went to Bruges, Belgium, and then 4 spots on the west coast of Norway. So that was like 8 days. And then we came back and we had like 4 or 5 days in London on the way back. And we've been back since Friday night at around 9 p.m. But we are, my daughter's upstairs right now, so I'm going to chill a little bit on this one. But we are fucked up. We're fucked up. I woke up at, this is the third morning here. I woke up at 3 a.m. this morning. And I said, I guess that's when I'm getting up today. And I worked out at 4 and got off the bike at 5:30. So I've been up for 6 hours already, and it's 9 a.m. Pacific time. Did you go to London just to get material to shit on us? No. London was amazing, man. You wouldn't know it from Londoners who live in one of the most beautiful cities in the world and spend apparently all their time outside watching Instagram reels of people with botched BBLs making fucked up donuts while pulling on their Elf bar. Not looking around at the beautiful scenery and architecture and people at all. Just staring at their phones, smoking cigarettes the whole time. But I'm telling you, I was having a great time. Open the Notes app. Okay, I might have written a couple of notes. I don't think it's as good as last time, but I had a lot of time because I was waking up at 3 a.m. in the UK too. Some of these are really bad, by the way. Guy who supports Canada as the 51st state just for the Sufjan Stevens album. That was kind of like the seed that germinated this theme. That was where we started from. QAnon Jeff Mangum be like, we're now called Alkaline Raw Milk Airbnb. Urbanist Oppenheimer be like, until someone makes an even littler free library. Christmas concert, admission free with donation to sperm bank. That we were trying to play the hits with that one. That one's probably cuttable. This one's really bad. I've been to Belgium, but I've never been to Chime. That one is really bad. The Titan submersible would still be here if that bitch had a wave bird. Whoever said don't sweat the small stuff didn't know shit about gamma rays. Noise canceling headphones that make you look like Eddie Munster. You know, the shoe polish guys at the airport were like, no matter what happens, people will always need their shoes shined. Happy ending at the airport massage table. Kinda crazy, Pizza Hut is the only Yum Brands restaurant where you can make a reservation. This one I'm kind of embarrassed about. I was very proud about this one. Party City CEO fired after showing up to business casual event in his birthday suit. Guy who loves fucking sideways saying he prefers to be the big spork. Optimists on the Titanic insisting the boat is actually half empty of water. Nominative This one's really tough. I don't even know if this is a real word. Nominative determinists are always saying some shit like, oh yeah? Then how do you explain Rip Van Winkle? Caveman Meet the Parents, where they look down on Greg Fokker for being a gatherer. I'd rather have a frog in my throat than a toad in my hole. Back in the day, this one was inspired by Bruges. Back in the day, they'd really be like, here's $1 million. Please paint a portrait of my wife looking bored as shit. In Sweden, they drive Volvo. What do they drive in Norway? Penis? Shocking the world by taking big tits first overall in the sexual fantasy football draft. People are waiting so long to have kids these days that the MILFs are starting to look like GILFs. Melania Trump cyclist be like, I don't car, do you? I forgot about I don't car, do you? That was, I was loving that one when I wrote that one. Woke terrorists telling the president they've kidnapped the administrative assistant of defense. If someone asks you how you're doing and you say could be worse, it means you're doing pretty badly. If you say could be better, it means you're doing worse than you've ever done in your entire life. Britons are going to be devastated when they find out smoking is bad for you. So many unions these days are striking, maybe they should try bawling. Aspiring astronaut who wears a spacesuit on his first day of college. I'm trying to read more, but it's hard. I got halfway through The Stranger and said, what's the point? British garage bands be like music for carports. It's crazy how red means stop for us but go for bulls. What should we call the thing you wear when it's cold as shit? How about a sweater? Great job, numbnuts. How bad was 1910's England that Shackleton became one of the only guys to commit suicide via Antarctica? Pansexual Tower of London that keeps you chained up in bionicles? It's a bit of a thinker, to be honest. Ate so much bran they gave me a colonoscopy, called that a fiber optic. Hey, Bob Dylan, if I wanted to like a Rolling Stone, I'd read Mick Jagger's autobiography. Thousands of people have been tortured in London over the years. But enough about the food. Making friends on the Disney cruise by telling them I love Belle and Sebastian. That one, I also felt really proud of myself for that one. British TV channels be like, you are now watching BBC CBeebies HD +1. That one's real, though. What the hell is Dave +1? Channel 4 +1? More 4? BBC HD 2 + 3? Like, what are you doing, man? The hardest part about traveling to England is the time difference. Every time I eat the food, it's like I've gone back in time. On the other hand, the best part is you're only expected to tip when you get exceptional service, which means you never have to tip. I'm just chilling. Food is pretty good, actually. Norwegian SoundCloud rappers be like, I'm trying to turn this fjord into a Benz. Londoners are so well dressed, even the potatoes have jackets. It's fucked up that inmates are the only people who don't have cell phones these days. European toilets be like, this water closet has recently gone cashless. However, if you pay using the app, every 10th piss is free. I took her to the crib and I gleeked it. Acting shady at the gift shop, hoping no one figures out I'm buying a bunch of shit for myself. The Central Line, this one's not even a joke, this is just an observation for Londoners. The Central Line train is the diameter of an MRI machine and has all the atmosphere of the Gotham City that convinced Bruce Wayne he needed to become Batman. Bipolar modem telling their psychiatrists they have some uploads and some downloads. And then this one's a real thinker, man. The chicken does the work, but the cook gets the credit. What the fuck was he on with that one? When you see British toilets, you finally understand why people in this country are so against the idea of free refills. I'm getting so old, cashiers don't even bother to ask if I have the app anymore. Guy who's so homophobic he won't even use Just for Men. Gay guy dyeing his pubes with Just for Men. That's a package deal. That feeling when the scissors slip at the pube barbershop. I knew my stylist was depressed, but I never thought he'd commit barbicide. When you towel off after the shower and your cock looks like Bob Ross, greater than sign. Getting my pubic hair straightened so my shit looks like Billy Ray Cyrus. I know I look like I have good taste because people keep trying to pair their Bluetooth devices to my phone. If you dress for the job you want, then the hamburger helper mascot is one horny bitch. You wouldn't be saying that type of shit to me if you knew my average sleep score. And it kind of ends with a whimper, but vampire who gets so depressed they start waking up at sunrise. I think these hit a little harder when you realize that 90% of these were written between 6 and 8 a.m. Me sitting on an armchair in like the hotel lobby, dressed like a normal person, but then just like staring straight into space. Then every 15 minutes typing on my phone for like 30 seconds and then chuckling to myself. And then just going right back to staring into space. Any notable Scran? Not really. I mean, I feel like the food in London was really good, but we got recommendations from a fan who knew food in London. So we had some really good food, to be honest with you. That being said, there's a couple of things I can't get down with. The baked beans, I think, are bad. I'll call it. I think American all-day breakfast clears the full English. And it's a matter of subtraction via addition. The full English has more. The more they add, the less I want. I'll deal with the tomato, and I'll tolerate the mushrooms, but I'm not fucking with the beans, man. Especially when the beans are not in their own like container, but they're just like splayed out on the platter, and the bean sauce is getting all over everything else. And the mushy peas were not good. You're entitled to like them. I don't think there's anything like ethically wrong with liking mushy peas, but they were, when I ate them, I was like, these are worse than non-mushy peas, in my opinion. If anything, it was like the stereotypical British food that I was like, this kind of sucks. But the restaurants that exist because of the fact that the city has like 8 million people from all around the world, like those places were great, man. See any blokes? Lots, man. Why are you guys smoking so much in England? Or at least in London? It's crazy, man. You gotta stop doing that. It's bad for you. God, it's crazy. I think what I was getting at in this journal entry, I was like, it's crazy. Everyone in London looks like they're so put together. It almost makes you forget that they listen to Coldplay and serve their Chinese food on top of French fries. I was cooking with that one. You guys are dressing too well to be eating like that. In what world do we dress well? Dude, I'm telling you, I had the same conversation with a Londoner. If you live in London and you think people are shabby, do not go to anywhere in North America, but especially Florida, man. Because you got to keep in mind, I've been going to Florida a lot, and it is like, why would I wear pants with a fly? It's dinner, not a funeral. Like, people wear their good pajamas outside. Also, I know this is kind of anti-American, so I apologize, but it is crazy how many American tourists you see in London wearing college sports merch. And you're like, when I'm on a Disney cruise and they're wearing college sports merch and the cruise leaves from Florida, I'm like, this is your home game. Like, I get that, but like packing your suitcase in Tennessee and flying that shit across the Atlantic Ocean, and then like, you're like, this is my nice University of South Carolina Gamecocks merch. Like, you don't have like a shirt with like nothing on it, or maybe just like a logo or something? How's that different than someone wearing a Liverpool kit in New York? Well, that person is probably American as well. So we'll start with the similarities, I guess. I didn't really see that much, but did you get the classic thing where a Brit asks if you're American, and when you say you're Canadian, they're like, thank God? No, I assume that I did think about playing the old 1995 card and like sewing a Canadian flag onto my clothes or something, but I was like, you have to admire the United States, man. Don't clip this out of context because it always makes a turn, and here's the turn. In a time where you have the luxury of hiding in plain sight and not outing yourself as an American, traveling overseas during a time when your country is very contentious, they're still like, nah, dog. It's baseball season. I'm wearing my matching Pittsburgh Pirates outfits every single day. Every single day. They're in Norway. They could just wear normal clothes, and people might be like, maybe they're from Canada. Maybe they're from Australia or something like that. But no, they're like, check it out, bro. You could be code switching right now, avoiding some like uncomfortable conversations. They're standing on business. That's why I'm saying you have to respect it, man. You go to Regent's Park. I don't know. We were around. We went places. Into Somerset House, Buckingham Palace, Peppa Pig double-decker bus tour, London Eye, with Slap Your Mother sauce. Sea Life? Nah, we've gone to enough aquariums, to be honest. We did not go to the Shrek experience either, but we threatened our daughter that if she didn't behave, we would take her to the Shrek experience. No one asked me for £5, no. No, except for the waiter anytime I ordered a Coke Zero. Can I say listen, you can easily, when you're in Europe, and I know that the UK, there's kind of like a Ross Rachel will they, won't they thing with the rest of the continent. But like, you're in Europe for a little bit, you can convince yourself, wait a minute, all the Euros typing in chat about how like we got all the culture, we got all the food, we got all the yada and the bar, and this pub might be owned by private equity, but it's older than your whole fucking country, blah, 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 blah. You can buy into the mythology after you're there for a while. But they're bending you over on soda. And you're taking it, and I don't understand why. Why is a Diet Coke £4.20? £4.20, mate. £4.20. Are you daft? That's insane. And it's bad for you. Smoke another cigarette, bitch. This is crazy. This virtue signaling is bad for you. Like 75% of you were smoking. And you're going to tell me that a Diet Coke is bad. Just drink less Coke, mate. I get it, because like where I come from, we have public bathrooms, and they're not like, €2 a piss or whatever. But like, For real, man. We gotta... One American chain making it into the United Kingdom market, fountain drinks, free refills. It's gonna spread like the fucking crack epidemic, man. It's gonna go insane. Maybe that's why Nando's is so popular there. Here, not that many people are messing with it, but if it was the only place with free refills, all of a sudden I could understand it. It's forbidden in some countries for obesity reasons. Yeah, but it's Diet Coke. It's Diet Coke. Also, melatonin, you need a prescription for melatonin in the United Kingdom. That's crazy. I thought about that every time I saw a 13-year-old kid vaping on the street. You need a prescription for a little gummy that helps regulate your sleep schedule. They should make this cigarettes prescription, man. Also, Germany, don't think I'm letting you off the hook. What the fuck is up with that German kids TV channel that after sunset just becomes like 12 hours of a piece of bread in outer space? That was what I watched. Burnt das Brot, man. Burnt das Brot. That was we landed in the UK after our 10-hour flight that also had a 10-hour time difference. So we're like 20 hours into the future. I turn on the TV. There's just a piece of bread flying in outer space. Come back 90 minutes later. He's still there, man. Nah, man. My brain thinks it's like 6 p.m. right now. This is messed up. Maybe I should just become British instead of getting over the jet lag. If I was British, I'll tell you the first thing I complain about. Why the fuck are you jogging across the Tower Bridge, mate? Oh, I'm about to go out for a wee jog. Where should I jog? Maybe on a sidewalk about as wide as a postage stamp with 10,000 tourists taking selfies. Great idea, you fucking, what do they say? You daft bloke, you lad. Your dad's so skint he came from Ladsbroke Grove, mate. The bit's falling apart. What'd you do in Belgium? Ate some rabbit, bought some chocolate. Bruges was pretty beautiful for sure. I don't know. Based on the movie, I thought it would kind of suck, but it was actually like gorgeous. Can I just say another thing about England that's really funny if you stop and think about it for a second? The disdain in the service staff's eyes when they see that it's my turn to order the coffee. And they're like, here it goes. Let's see what this silly motherfucker's going to order. But then they're forced to say the funniest question of all time, which is, are you all right? That's a crazy greeting, man. When you clearly hate your customer and resent them being in your coffee shop. You all right? We'll skip the pleasantries, all right? I'll take a large iced coffee, please. And I'm trying not to extrapolate too much based on my experience in like one neighborhood. The coffee shops open at 8 a.m. I thought you were a serious country. Even in Ohio, the coffee shops, which is literally like just Starbucks, but it opens at 5 a.m. It opens at the crack of dawn. 8 a.m.? Are you being serious, man? Oh, hang on. We got a Gwiggler. Why can't you go to the hotel lobby and get good coffee there? Because I might be the only person. I know. I'm not saying I'm in the right for this, because this is crazy. I never thought I would be this guy. I'm got to be the only motherfucker on earth who's like, they're starting the hotel breakfast too late. I've never heard another person in history be like, yeah, the real problem with the hotel breakfast is that it doesn't start till 6. Everybody else is like, what the hell do you mean my complimentary breakfast runs like 6 to 7:30? And I'm like, hello, I'm ready to play. I was starting to think of some crazy shit. I was like, there should be some like clothing stores that cater to the morning people out there. There should be like some clothing stores that open at 4:30 a.m. I was like really in my head, like this might be an untapped market, man. What about like a clothing store that's open from 4:30 till 1? Next time, call the hotel right before. Okay, wait. I trust Gwiggler on this one, man. Ask for coffee at 4 a.m. They'll fulfill it, I promise. Gwiggler, what's your fucking Marriott Bonvoy status? Because I think we might be gold or something like that, but you sound like you're in a different tier, man. I don't think they're bringing me a coffee at 4:30 a.m. They might beat the shit out of me. Triple platinum? That's crazy. Just go back to sleep. I literally can't. But that's where I do the notes app, man. That's why I wake up, I mean, the morning routine was like 6 hours long. I wake up at 3:45 a.m. on vacation, 2 fridge coffees to the dome as fast as possible, quick poop in the bathroom, take a shower, put on my clothes, go sit in the bed until the coffee shops open up, go get a coffee that I don't even know what it is. I'll take a flat white, please. Nobody knows what it is, but it tastes pretty good. Then I bring the coffee back to the hotel, and I sit in one of the armchairs, and I just look straight ahead until I go, and then I type it in the notes app. You know, the other thing that's crazy is being from like one of the most expensive cities on the planet, and then traveling to London and being like, how do people survive here? Like, if you live in London and you're not making like $1 million a year, like, how are you? What's your secret? Because that doesn't make any sense to me. You live in Vancouver? I know, it's worse, man. It's worse in London, or at least what we were doing. It's like everything's the same price, but in a different currency that is twice as, well, I don't know the market cap of the Great British pound, but £1 is like $2 Canadian. Was Norway more expensive? All right, Norway might have been more expensive than London, and I will say we had the worst sushi of our entire life in Norway, which was buyer beware. And we kind of knew going into the restaurant that we were probably going to tank the worst sushi we've ever had, because my wife had a sushi craving, and she's like, I just got to know. Why get sushi in Norway? I don't know, because it's about a meter from the ocean or whatever. And also, the Google reviews fucked me. The people that were reviewing these restaurants do not know what they were talking about, because it was like a 4.4 out of 5. People were like, I travel here all the time, and this is like the best sushi I've ever had. And it was fucking terrible, man. It was horrible. And they don't have free refills. Is it just North America that's got free refills? But at least in Norway, they have the audacity to charge you €5 for a Coke Zero, but it comes in a big fucking glass. Comes in like a pint glass. You're paying £4.20 for a Coke Zero in the UK, and they're bringing out one of those fuck you 200 milliliter bottles. 200 milliliters, bro? Get a fucking life, man. That's crazy. That's like, it makes me sick. You get used to no free refills. Okay, this is making me laugh. 1 second here, because this is, I can't keep 2 parallel thoughts at the same time right now. My brain's just not there. But like, that's not the Red Hot Chili Peppers, man. Or is it? That's Will Ferrell, and that's Anthony Kiedis, but that's Iggy Pop, bro. What's Iggy Pop doing how the hell did a polar bear get to Arlington, Texas? He's mogging? It's so funny to be like shirtless but have those glasses on. And I say that from experience. How was Norway? It was good, Talia. It was good. I went to the the label and canning museum in Stavanger, Norway. Anyone ever been to the canning and labeling museum in Stavanger? Yes, I have. There was an exhibit in there that got me thinking. It was like, historically, words and pictures are in competition for being like the dominant medium for communication. And maybe the rise of social media has led to like a 3-century change. Like, words have been dominating since the printing press came out, but before that, it was like cave paintings and shit. So it was like, maybe words are finally losing the battle to pictures. And I was like, maybe that's why I'm so pissed off all the time. Because I'm a word guy. I like to read. I do my best work in writing. Second best work probably in talking. And I'm a pretty good listener. I don't give a fuck about pictures at all. Paintings, sure, a little bit. But pictures, you literally didn't do anything. Sure, here's my picture of this beautiful sunset. Okay, you didn't make the sun, buddy. Okay, you took that on your iPhone, huh? What an amazing picture. I'm an asshole, I guess is what I'm trying to say. We need to bring back words, I guess, you didn't make the things your words are on. It's the Notes app is innocent, okay? The Notes app is innocent. Also, I be learning new words all the time. Just yesterday, I said, hey, what does prelapsarian mean? It means from way, way back in human history, before the fall of man, bitch. Thank you, Camus, for that one, by the way. We take those. Can I also say this stream is dedicated to the guy that I saw on the train in Southampton? who said, Northern Lion, the hell are you doing here? I forgot to mention that. Which has more monthly searches, England or the Red Hot Chili Peppers? Absolutely no idea. I think people might do some research on England, but more people would be like looking for like, hey, what's up with the Red Hot Chili Peppers? Oh, they're tied. Who would have thought that doesn't seem right to me? That doesn't seem possible that they would both be at that conspicuously round number, but okay. I think Chrome extension probably less than the Red Hot Chili Peppers.
Macular, a noun meaning spot.
Shit related to your eyes.
Homiletics, a noun meaning the art of preaching. Homiletics.
Oh! It's an eye. Homiletics. It's an eye. I should know that. My kid's upstairs again. I was in a fuckload of churches while I was away. Also, Belgium, you're pissing me off. You just walk into a church that like wasn't even that impressive, and they'd be like, oh yeah, oh, what do we got over here? Oh, 8 paintings by one of the Flemish masters of the 17th century. Get a life, bro. Not even like charging for entry or anything like that. Just like, yeah. Here's our shit from the Flemish masters. Every cathedral, it's not as impressive as some of the cathedrals around here, but we got like 7 Peter Paul Rubens paintings here, just hanging up. No glass around them or anything. Just sitting there. You guys ever been to Daunt Books in London? One of my favorite tote bag selling stores. Like everybody that goes into that bookstore, I'm talking like I lived there for like 100 years. Everybody goes into the bookstore and then they buy one book, but then when they get to the cash register, they go, can I get that tote bag too? I'll take the tote bag to put my 10-pound copy of The Fall in, please. The hell is a gingerbread cookie from? This seems like it's steeped in European tradition. Like you used to make like the cookie was originally like something you made to ward off evil spirits or something like that. Like this is a German house, man. I don't know what to tell you. Like this, they're not doing shit like this. This is from Arendelle, bro. They're not doing this shit in America. This is not the United States. I can't believe this is not Germany. Northwest of Germany, but not Denmark. More west than north, but not touching. Belgium? Is it Belgium or the UK, I feel? Gingerbread Man. United Kingdom. Okay. I must have missed that when I was over there. I would probably yum a gingerbread man, though. 8% yuck? The world is full of virtue signalers, man, especially when it comes to food. That might be the thing that people virtue signal about the most. Oh, a fucking beautiful cookie that's like 1% spicy? Nah, I'd rather eat the shit in a bowl. Bro did not go to Greg's. Excuse me, I went to Greg's in 2015. I've already experienced Greg's. Can I say something? I expected, and this is not the only restaurant I ate at in London. Don't try that on me, okay? I've been down this road before. Spend 2 weeks in Japan, you eat McDonald's once. That's all anybody can talk about. Guy went to play my dream destination and ate one shrimp burger. Oh, it's so disgusting to me. Meanwhile, what are you eating at home? Beef burger. Makes me sick. Sorry, I'm shadowboxing, but went to Pret A Manger. And I expected it to be total ass because those kind of like quick service coffee shops in North America are always total ass. Pret A Manger, not that bad. Not that bad. If you think that's bad, I'm saying this for your own benefit. Do not go to North America because you'll go into a coffee shop in North America, a chain coffee shop at least, and you'll be like, wow, what's the worst that can happen? At least it's going to be better than Pret A Manger, and then you're going to get on the next plane to go back home. Okay, Scrandal. Now that I've been to England, post-Scrandal, there's no shot that I'm not winning this, even though I saw none of this food. Meatball sandwich, that's You're using the term meatballs. This is not what I would expect if I ordered a meatball sandwich. Even at £2.90, mate. £2.90. I could get 12 centiliters of Coke Zero for that. £2.90. Are you mad? I mean, this looks pretty bad and it's very expensive. I'm gonna go with that. You're crazy. With the ooze on, that's horrible. I don't even care what this. That no food should look like this. This is the spaghetti that the AI generated Will Smiths were eating a couple of years ago, man. It's got to be that. 90%. No, man. I mean, I just don't. It just looks like a bunch of batter in a pita. I think I got to go with the Ochina. I don't know if that's how it's actually pronounced. That might be 18 plus. It's the worst looking hot dog I've ever seen in my life. And pretty bad looking. Actually, if you cross your eyes, the hot dog actually looks pretty good, but maybe not as food. But if you look through the image a little bit, so you're focused on a point past your computer monitor, it's probably going to be this, though. 9% of people wouldn't eat that. Okay, Batman / DJ Khaled or whatever. In my heart of hearts, the purity of my soul, I believe that this culinarily beats this, even though this has a lot more colors associated with it. I think that's people that have not been outside will never eat anything like that's too much mayonnaise. This is a tough one, man. That's like. It's not as Will Smith spaghetti. People really like mayonnaise. I gotta go with that. Dude, is this it? Is this where I come out as British? Because this looks all right, but it's £12.80. You must be daft, mate. Are you all right? I didn't eat one of these, and these are bad. The mushy peas are bad. Justin is actually British. That's my September hypothesis, is that Justin is British. Because I don't think you could fake liking mushy peas unless you're British. So I think he may actually be secretly British. Or as he says, Eurodivergent, which is very good. But, all right, that's crazy. You had bad mushy peas? Are you telling me that the pub in the the departures terminal of Heathrow International Airport is not a paragon of British food? No. The place before security. Yeah. The one like you drop off your bags, but you're like, maybe we should eat before we go through security because we got that much time. You know what's also great about that? And this is not a British thing. This is just like I guess it's like an inshitification thing. But restaurants where you order and pay using a QR code menu, that was a real customer-focused endeavor that restaurants are starting to push. Now, instead of somebody coming to my table with a point-of-sale terminal, it was where I can tap my credit card. Instead, I can manually enter all of my credit card details into my phone on my phone keyboard every single time I want to order anything. Just use Google Pay. All right, but no tips. There's no tips because I haven't spoken to a real person. That's fine. Well, you get the world you deserve. Terminal 5 of London Heathrow Airport. That's your fucking dream destination. That's your happy place, Happy Gilmore. Damn, you flew British Airways? You know too much about airlines, bro. How'd you know that was British Airways terminal? That's BA only. It was pretty good. And can I also say something? How stupid were the people that built the London airports? You're telling me the two biggest airports in London aren't in London. They're 90 minutes drive outside of the city, and they're right next to each other. They built the fucking airports right next to each other, an hour and a half outside of the city that they're built to serve. What were they thinking? They're very close, okay? You take the same road, because I'm the kind of guy, when I travel, I lock in. I wasn't looking at my phone going to the airport. I was looking out the window, soaking up a little bit of culture before I got trapped in my seat for like another 10 hours, right? 20 signs in a row. Gatwick and Heathrow this way. Gatwick and Heathrow. Gatwick and Heathrow. The last intersection was like Gatwick this way, Heathrow this way. Crazy. Also, one time at Waterloo Station, We needed to get a train from London to Southampton. We bought the wrong ticket. Do you know how bad your system has to be for two people? One guy who has only spoken English his entire life to not understand how to buy a train ticket in the country that invented the English language, the only language that I speak. What the fuck do you mean? Like, they expect you to be an expert on United Kingdom trains to buy a train ticket. I was like, I want to go from Waterloo to Southampton Central. They said, okay, what kind of ticket do you want? Peak or not peak? How the fuck would I know what the peak hours of your fucking train are? It's the most insane question I've ever been asked, man. So of course I go off peak because it's like £6 cheaper. And then all of a sudden it's like, oh, you can't even take that train from the station you bought the ticket with. You got to take the tube from Waterloo Station to Clapham Junction and get on the train at Clapham Junction instead. Even though the train from Waterloo Station is going through Clapham Junction to go to Southampton Central. So then I gotta wait in a big line where I go to talk to a real human being, and I'm like, well, I think I bought the wrong fucking ticket. I guess I'm a fucking idiot. Even though, like, literally the only language I speak is the one that you're speaking here. And they went, oh yeah, actually, here's your problem. You got two problems. You can't buy this one because this one's UK Metro and this one's Southwestern United Kingdom train service, which is blah, 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 blah. And also you bought off-peak hours. You need peak hours. And then blah, 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 and then all of a sudden they're like £7.80. It's crazy, man. You know what I loved about that, though? I Googled it to be like, why the fuck can you buy a ticket from Waterloo Station that doesn't leave from Waterloo Station? And I expected that all the comments would be like they are on Twitch right now, which is like, well, it's actually better this way because I've been immersed in it my whole life. All the comments on the UK Reddit were like, no, you're right. It's basically the dumbest system of all time. Also, you can't talk to anybody because they're firing all the people who work in the train stations now to save money. I respected that they were being honest. In North America, they're not like that. They're like, oh, actually, it's good that this shit sucks. Because if it was good, more people would use it. I also don't know why is like every British television show called Camilla? That was beautiful. What do you mean by that? I mean, if you turn on a British television at 7 a.m., get ready. It's between 2 eggs and bacon and Camilla. 2 eggs and bacon is hard-hitting broadcast journalism. Camilla is what kind of handbags go best with flannel. You think your crew would love you or throw you overboard if you were a 17th century sailor? Keep in mind you're on voyage for months. I think if I was an officer, there's a chance they would throw me overboard because I have a certain haughty vernacular that would, in my opinion, emphasize the difference between the officer class and the general seaman. And that would rankle them more. I have an organic, smarmy attitude for sure. But I think if I was in the class of just able-bodied seamen, I think they might have me be their fucking mouthpiece when the mutiny starts. I think they'd be like, get the wordy guy up there to speak with the officers. He knows how to speak officer. So it really depends where I was. I was kind of crashing out reading about Shackleton when I was in London, man. The dude really did, and I'm not trying to make a joke about it, but he went to Antarctica when World War I broke out. He said, fuck this shit, I'm out. Got trapped in the ice for like a year. His ship sank. They got on a fucking little tiny canoe and sailed to like South Georgia and Ossetia or something like that. Got rescued. Dude was 80% popsicle when they rescued him. Went back to England for like a year and a half. And then was like, I'm going back to Antarctica. How fucked up was 1910s England, man? Can you imagine being Shackleton's wife? He's like, he just got back. And he's like, what do you think? I'm thinking one last expedition would go fucking crazy right now. The food was that bad. That's what I'm saying, man. He had beans on toast once and said, fuck this. I'm going to go have a heart attack on like the Falkland Islands or whatever. Was he just stupid? I mean, I'm trying to be charitable, but the Antarctica almost killed him. And he went back, the safety of 20th century Europe. Said, fuck this shit. My heart belongs to Antarctica. All right. All right. Whatever you say, man. I'd watch the Ocho if it was real. It is real now, and I would have believed that I would have watched the Ocho too, but it turns out most of those sports on the Ocho kind of suck ass. I'm not watching the American cornholing tournament. I'm sorry. It's just it's one of those things that you're like, it's interesting that it's on, and then you're like, I just can't bring myself to watch like competitive axe throwing or something. It's also crazy when you realize that, like, you would go into like a bar in the United Kingdom, they were playing darts, man, on the TV. That's just tiny axes. What are they doing? I mean, I watched a little bit of cricket, don't get me wrong. I did have a question about cricket, because cricket, you never know when it's going to end, right? Like, sometimes cricket takes like 3 days for the match to be played, right? So if you buy a ticket, like, when do you go? Is it just kind of, do you get like in and out privileges? Or do you buy for like a time slot and then you're like, oh, well, I've been here for 8 hours, I only saw the one batter. You buy a ticket for 1 day. That's wild, man. You wouldn't catch me going to day 2 of the test. Queen needs another paper. Guys with a Findom kink. +2. That hamburger helper joke, originally it was going to be about a foot fetish. I was trying to think about how to make it work. Something like, if you got a dress for the job you want, guys with a foot fetish are going to look really fucked up. Instead, I had to make it about the hamburger helper mascot. You don't get it? Dress for the job. All the jokes are like, you can interpret words in 2 different ways. I'll pull the veil back a little bit. I had to post this in the Discord. I know it's Pride Month. I'm sorry. I had to post this in the Discord just to get it out of my head. It was 20 years ago today. Sergeant Pepper told the band he's gay. Then he started to stroke on his schlong, and he wanted us to goon along. Let me introduce to you the one and only Billy Splooge, Sergeant Cummers, Horn in the Hearts Club Band. It's wonderful to stroke here, it's certainly a thrill. You're quite a lovely audience, we'd like to take you home with us, we'd love to take you home. Something like that. What would you do if I came out of tune? Would you stand up and nod over me? Lend me your balls and I'll stroke on your cock, and I'll try not to turn it to pee. Ooh, I get hard with a little help from my friends. Ooh, we're gonna shard with a little help from my friends, with a little help from my friends. Do you need anybody? Something like that. I just need somewhere to come.